What's more profitable, holding all the coins you mine or selling them to buy more GPUs to mine more coins? Do you actually end up with more coins if you keep selling them off to buy more GPUs? Is there a perfect ratio between how much to hold versus how much to sell? That's what's coming up. Warning, there are people pretending to be me in the comments and on social platforms. I'll never ask you to add me on WhatsApp or Telegram, and I'll never ask you to send me money, crypto, or your personal information. Alright? So please be careful, use your common sense, and don't let any of these imposters fool you. Alright? Now back to the video. Hey, how's it going, GPU heads? Thanks for clicking on my video. 𝐬𝐵𝐷𝐿 here, and in this video I'm going to try to answer the question of, is it better to just hold all the coins that you mine, or should you cash out part of it in order to reinvest that into more GPUs in order to get more hash rate to hopefully end up with more coins in the end than you would have in comparison to if you would have just held all the coins you mined on your original GPUs. But is that actually better? Because if you keep cashing out some of your coin, obviously that's coin lost, and do you actually end up with more in the end versus just holding everything from your original set of GPUs? And what are the things that sort of affect the outcome here? So we're gonna have a look at what is the perfect ratio of how much should you cash out versus how much should you hold. How does coin price affect this? How does network difficulty affect this? How does your power cost affect this? Do things change if there's a massive price spike after a few years? Or what happens if the coin price declines slowly over time? That and a lot more is what's coming up in this video. But first, quick word from a sponsor. 𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐿. If you want to get into proper Bitcoin mining, then 𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐿 has you covered. From the latest ASIC miners, mobile mining containers and power transformers, to complete hosting services and even full facility build-outs. 𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐿 is the largest distributor of Bitcoin mining equipment in the United States, with a team of over 100 mining experts ready to help you out. So check them out through 𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐿.io/SEB or in the link in the video description. Alright, so here we are on the computer, and of course I've made a spreadsheet to calculate all of this, and I'll leave a link for the spreadsheet in the description of this video. If you want to go in, try it out for yourself, just make sure you hit File, make a copy, and then you should be able to make edits to it. And I'm actually interested to hear kind of what you guys figure out. So if you have a play with this spreadsheet and try different things and you find something interesting, then please leave it in the comments. I'll be really interested to hear what you guys find. But what I figured we do in this video is, first I'll just walk you through the spreadsheet and all the functions in it. Then we'll just try a few different scenarios and see what we come up with. And then finally, I'm gonna tell you the 4 sort of golden rules almost that I've figured out by just inputting a lot of different values in here. I've found 4 things that you kind of seem to be universally true no matter what the circumstance is, and they're actually really interesting and a bit surprising, so you'll have to stay till the end for that. But without further ado, let's hop on into the spreadsheet. Alright, so this spreadsheet calculates 4 possible scenarios here, which one is to just hold all of the coins that you mine. The second one is to just cash out each month in order to pay for your power cost. The third one is just to cash out in order to buy GPUs. And the fourth one is to cash out both to pay for power and to buy more GPUs. So this isn't a sheet that's sort of using any specific coin or anything like that. Rather, it's just a sort of simulation of how it works in general. So you could basically input the values from any coin or any profitability or any GPU here, and it should all work the same. So it's not based on a specific coin. Rather, you can change it to whatever coin you're mining or whatever situation you are in. So as you can see here, you can set how many, coins you're mining per GPU each month. So this can be whatever. If you're doing ETH, then it's probably like 0.0002 or something like that per GPU. But I thought for, simplicity's sake, let's go with a hypothetical coin where you mine 30 of that coin per month or 1 per day. You then have your GPU power consumption here. You then also have what the coin price is per, one of these coins, these hypothetical coins that we're mining. You can obviously input the values of whatever coin you're actually mining, and it should be somewhat correct there. So I went with $1.70. You then have the price of a GPU here. You then have sort of how much, like what percentage of your mined coin are you actually selling each month to reinvest in GPUs. We also then have how many GPUs you have to start with, because obviously that affects the outcome a little bit if you just have a few versus if you have quite a bit. obviously your power cost here. And this is just kind of an extra thing where I personally was interested in sort of the actual value of your hardware, because obviously if you keep reinvesting into more GPUs, you end up with a lot more GPUs that, you know, also hold some sort of value. So what I did is I just said that the GPU sell value is 50% of whatever you bought it for. So that's what I went with there. You can see if I change the GPU buy price, the sell value also decreases there. So there you go. Then we have these two fields, right? So I wanted to be able to simulate sort of different situations or different scenarios where maybe the coin price slowly grows over time or slowly declines over time, as well as the mining difficulty, how that could change over time. So for example, maybe if the coin price increases slowly over time, then so will mining difficulty if more and more people start mining it, because the coin is more and more valuable, right? So we can simulate scenarios like that using these two. And then finally, I wanted to add a price spike at the end sort of thing here, where you know, you mine for a long time and then the price spikes up 400% towards the end, for example. How does that affect our outcome here? So that is all the fields that you can manipulate in this spreadsheet in order to see the different results. It then gives you some per GPU information here. So you can see sort of what your daily power cost for the GPU is, and that's based on obviously how much the GPU is pulling in terms of wattage and your power cost here. It then also shows the actual daily revenue, which is how much the GPU makes before power cost, and then the daily profit. So these numbers are kind of like just in terms of how much profit it is making right now. Is based on a 3070, which makes about $1.20 mining Ethereum, and I think a 3070 costs around $450 on eBay right now. Obviously, you're not going to mine 30 Ethereum, and one Ethereum isn't worth $1.70, but for all ends and purposes, it's basically the same kind of result there, just using easier to understand numbers. And then this is a really interesting field, which is your GPU ROI days. Basically, how long will it take for a GPU to pay for itself? And obviously that is based on what you pay for it here versus the daily profit. So basically $1.20 times 376 days is $450. Easy enough, right? And then as we go through our four sort of result fields here, you don't need to change any of the numbers here. They auto update. So for example, let me just show you, what if you were to purchase for 100% of your profit rather than 35? You can see here how many GPUs we own in the end. It goes from 62 to 345, right? So just to show you that all these fields update automatically. If you change your power cost, for example, to, I don't know, 40 cents, you can see how the fields change and so on. So let's have a look here. The results are for a 3-year period. So you can see I have month 1 through 36 here, and you can actually open this up to see all of the remaining months that I've hidden. But I just hid it so we see our results after the first month, 12 months, 24 months, and 36 months. You can see how many GPUs we have. Obviously, for holding all your coins, you end up with the same amount of GPUs. The power cost for each month, the total you've paid in terms of power, how much coin you're yielding each month, the total coin balance, so how many coins you actually have in your wallet, what those are worth each month, and how much your hardware is worth, aka your GPUs. Then you have the same thing here, just that we are obviously yielding a bit less each month, since we are cashing out some of it to cover our power costs. Then we have the same thing here, but instead of cashing out for power, we are cashing out to buy more GPUs. So as you can see, the GPU number does increase over time here, as does the yield per month. And finally, we have the second and third combined, basically, where you are cashing out both to pay for power first, and then whatever is left after you've paid for power, you then also cash out a portion to buy more GPUs to increase your farm, basically. So then you can see in the end, what is the value of all of the coins you have mined after 36 months for each of these 4 scenarios. And then we also have this one, which is what is, you know, this plus the actual value of your hardware after 36 months. And the reason they are different colors, these colors change depending on you know, which one is better. So they go from green to red. So for example, if we have maybe like a, I don't know, let's go with a difficulty change of 1% per month. You can see now all of a sudden you end up with more profit just holding the coins versus cashing out to buy GPUs, versus before, if there was no monthly difficulty change, then you ended up with more by cashing out to buy GPUs. And one last thing I want to bring your attention to with this spreadsheet is that this percentage of monthly profit sold to buy GPUs, you can see emphasis on the word profit there, and that is because I made the decision to have that percentage be sort of taking your power cost into account each month, and then how much of whatever is remaining. So this is even if you're not cashing out to pay for electricity, like in this scenario here, it is still taking your power cost for the month into account, subtracting that, you know, or not subtracting, but like taking that out of the remaining yield, and then however much is left after that is what this percentage is taking money from to buy GPUs. Hope that makes sense. So for example, if you are saying 100% here, that means you are still holding some coin every month, because you're still putting away the sort of value of coins that your electricity cost is. And guys, just a quick reminder that we actually have official GPU Heads merch now, and it's available at 𝐺PUHeads.com. As you can see, I'm wearing one of the t-shirts now. This is the design with the skull biting the graphics card. We also have mugs and stickers. And this specific design with the skull biting the graphics card is sort of inspired by like 80s metal band t-shirts. Basically, I wanted to make something that looks actually cool to wear, even if you don't know what mining even is. And this design will only be available until September. So if you do choose to get it, just know that that is a great way for you to support the channel and get something awesome in return. So that's available at 𝐺PUHeads.com. And now let's continue with the spreadsheet. So the sort of scenario we have here right now is, I guess, basically sort of based on today. You know, with this GPU price, this daily profit is basically exactly what a single 3070 makes per day on Ethereum. Yeah, you can see there $1.20. So that is what that's based on. And the same for the GPU price. I think that's roughly what a 3070 costs today, as well as the power consumption, taking into account that the actual rig pulls a little bit of power too. So as you can see, with all of these settings and no monthly coin price change, no monthly network difficulty change, and no price spike at the end, you do end up with about 10% more if you cash out 35% of your profit each month to reinvest into more GPUs. But let's try a different scenario here. So let's say the mining profitability goes down significantly because the coin price is a lot lower. So let's say we go down from $1.70 per coin to just 80 cents per coin. But let's say that also affects our GPU prices. So we go from 450 per GPU to, I don't know, let's say 250 per GPU, right? So you can see how that now changed things so that holding the coins is actually more profitable than cashing out to buy GPUs. However, there's actually something very interesting going on here, which is that you actually have more coins at the end with cashing out to buy GPUs than you do with just holding all your coins. But because you have significantly more GPUs, about 50% more GPUs than you do if you just hold your coins here, the power cost, the total power cost, is enough that in the end you've actually made less money. But so I want to show you how that can be affected by the price spike at the end. So obviously, if you have more coins and the actual profitability here is actually just due to the total power cost you've paid, if there's a massive price spike of like 400% towards the end, then you can see that now all of a sudden cashing out to buy GPUs ended up being more profitable after all, because obviously the power cost is fixed, but the value of the coins that you've mined is depending on the actual coin price. So let's try a different scenario here of no price spike at the end, and let's say mining is somewhat profitable and a GPU is about $400, right? We can see there holding again is more profitable than cashing out, but only by a little bit. But now what if we see a monthly coin price change of say 1%, right? Now all of a sudden buying more GPUs is a better idea. But what if we combine that with a monthly difficulty change as well? Then all of a sudden holding your coins is more profitable again. So you can see how things almost seem random now, where I enter some numbers and then holding all the coins is more profitable, and then I change some numbers and then all of a sudden cashing out to buy GPUs is more profitable. But I've actually found sort of 4 almost like golden rules that seem to always apply almost no matter what. So I'll share those with you guys. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
Established in 2013, MinerDude is a 100% US-based mining hardware company. They focus on providing the highest quality GPU mining rig, which ships from their US-based warehouse and comes with a 1-year warranty on all parts. They accept crypto, wire transfers, and credit cards as payment methods. They also integrate with the top crypto operating systems like Simple Mining, HiveOS, and MinerStat. With the average delivery time of just 1 to 5 days, you can rest assured that your order will get to you extremely fast. Please visit minerdude.com or email support@minerdude.com for questions.
So the first sort of golden rule that I've figured out is that cashing out in order to pay for power is only better if there's actually a coin price decrease over time. So now I know some of you are in these situations where you have to cash out to pay for your power. So obviously, you know, it's still profitable to do so. It's just less than optimal than paying out of pocket, except for in situations where the coin price decreases over time. So let me show you what I mean here. In any situation where the coin price goes up a little bit over time, you can see holding versus cashing out to pay for power is better. Or if we see a massive price spike towards the end, it is also more profitable to hold all your coins versus cashing out for power. And you can see that goes for both of the different scenarios where you don't cash out to buy GPUs or you cash out to buy GPUs. You can see in both scenarios, not cashing out for power is more profitable in the end. However, if we see a coin price decrease over time, so let's say the coin price decreases by 1% per month, all of a sudden cashing out to pay for power is actually a better idea. Same goes for if there's a massive downturn in the price towards the end. So if it loses half its value overnight, after 36 months, you can see then it was also a better idea to cash out along the way to pay for power. So that is golden rule number 1. Golden rule number 2 is that almost no matter the scenario, if there's a massive price spike towards the end, then cashing out to buy more GPUs throughout was a better and more profitable idea. There are a few little circumstances where this isn't the case. For example, if GPUs were extremely overpriced, let's say they are $2,400 per GPU, then obviously you end up with more money at the end. I also think if your power cost is really expensive, as you can see, a tiny bit less profitable than just holding all the coins. But in general, if there's a massive price spike at the end, having cashed out to buy more GPUs throughout has been more profitable. And while these 2 first rules aren't really things that you can predict, you can't predict if the coin price is going to go down slowly over time or if there's going to be a massive price spike towards the end. However, these last 2 are things that you can actually control yourself. And the first one is that it kind of seems, no matter what the situation is, having a GPU that ROIs in less than 400 days is basically a good idea. So let me show you what I mean here. We just have regular numbers plugged in here, and as you can see, our GPU ROI is 376 days. However, if I increase the price of the GPU here, so let's say 500, you can see it's now neck and neck as we're at 418 days. And if I go a bit higher than this, all of a sudden just holding is a better idea rather than cashing out to buy GPUs. And this also goes for if the actual mining profitability is lower due to a lower coin price. So as you can see, our GPU ROI days is now down to 376 again. So let's increase that by lowering the coin price. So let's go to 150 instead of 170. And as you can see, as the ROI days went above 400, now holding all the coins is better than cashing out to buy GPUs. And I've been playing with this spreadsheet a lot, and it really does seem that kind of no matter what scenario I put in here, making sure your GPU can realistically ROI within 400 days just seemed to be a really good idea. Now the 4th and final rule is that if you're cashing out to buy more GPUs, you should never cash out more than what your actual profit is each month. So your profit is how much are you actually mining, that's your revenue, minus what is the actual cost of mining that, that's your power cost. And what you're left with when subtracting your power cost from your revenue, that is your profit. And that is what you can take from in order to buy more GPUs. So even if you're not actually cashing out this amount to pay for power each month, you still need to put it aside so that you're only taking from the amount of actual profit that you have each month. So let me show you with a visual example in this spreadsheet here. So as you can see, I've actually designed my spreadsheet in a way here where it says percentage of monthly profit sold to buy GPUs. So let me just show you here. Let's say we say 100% of our profit here. And for simplicity's sake, let's say we mine 60 coins each month at a coin price of $1. And if we look at the cash out to buy GPUs scenario here, you can see for our first month, we're actually yielding 1,440 coins. And we know one coin is worth $1, right? But what's actually being added to the GPU fund is $1,077 or 1,077 coins cashed out. And that is because I'm still sort of putting away $362.88 worth of coins, which is our power cost, as you can see here. And I'm sort of just saving that before I take money out to buy GPUs. So as you can see here, if you do take 100% of your profits out each month and there is no sort of price change over time, you can see the coin balance you end up with at the end is exactly what you need in order to pay for your power cost. Now let me just put some scenarios in here with a monthly price change. Obviously you end up with a little bit more, or if there's a price spike, obviously you end up with a little bit more as well. However, if you go above 100% here, meaning you're eating into your power cost, so you're doing all of your profit plus your power cost. So let's go a bit more, let's go 120%, right? And as you can see, you actually end up in the negative here. So overall, I don't want to dwell on this for too long, but cashing out more than your profit each month in order to buy more GPUs, not a good idea. But as I said, link to the spreadsheet will be in the description of this video. Please open it up and make a copy and have a play around with the numbers and see if you can come up with some interesting scenarios. And if you do, please let me know in the comments below this video because I'd love to learn more about this. But that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it one of these. And if you really liked it, you can now join the channel to help support what I do here. It really does make a big difference and it means a lot to me, so thank you. But what you gotta do now is you gotta click on that next video on the screen. Because this video is over, you can also click the picture on my face to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, go click on that next video and I'll see you there. Goodbye. Goodbye, bye bye.